This isn't your typical love story. It's about rewriting the rules, choosing courage over comfort, and trusting that God has a plan, even when it doesn't make sense on paper. Meet Sara. Life tested her in ways she never could have imagined. A broken engagement, divorce, and the day-to-day challenges of raising 3 young children on her own. And yet, through the setbacks, she still held on to hope that something greater was waiting. Then came Schlommo, 6 years younger than her, never married, and heading to Harvard Law. He wasn't even looking for love until he met Sara. Their worlds couldn't have been more different, but when they met at a party, something just clicked. A friendship which blossomed into deep, honest, and unexpected love. He didn't just fall for her, he welcomed and embraced her children as his own. Today, they share their journey online, spreading hope, humor, and real inspiration to thousands of people. You see, their story isn't just about finding love. It's about second chances, unexpected beginnings, changing the rules, and the strength to keep believing that you're being guided towards something better. Because sometimes, when you think life is over, it's just beginning. This is Sara and Shlomo, and this is their story. Happy summer, and welcome back to another very special curated episode of Stories of Hope. This episode is a long-awaited one. It was actually filmed on a Sunday, which I never, ever do. But this is an episode that you've been waiting for. It's the one of Sara and Shlomo. I know. I actually just heard the whole thing, and I'm excited for all of you to hear it for the first time ever. So get stoked, get excited, and be prepared to be inspired by a very special episode of Stories of Hope. And I don't know if you knew this because it's new news to me, but PZ Deals also sells perfume. For my ladies out there, they sell the good perfume, not the cheap stuff, but the good perfume for the price that you want, that you haven't seen. So if you haven't already, check out the PZ Deals app. And if you've been wanting to grill this summer and you don't have a grill, I don't know why you don't have one. Every family needs one. Then that's on sale as of today. Don't know what you'll see if you download the app now, but if you already have it, then you got notified and hopefully it's on its way to you. So download the PZ Deals app because with PZ Deals, you'll never pay full price again. Hi, I'm Tzipora Grodko, and this is the Stories of Hope podcast. This episode has been long overdue. I don't even know since when. I've been so excited to get Sara and Shlomo on the podcast ever since I think the inception of the podcast. But Shlomo works for the FBI, so it's a little bit challenging. And Sara's really busy doing beautiful things too. But we're grateful that they stopped the world on a Sunday to come on in. So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
We're excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sara, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about your journey and your story.
Okay. So I was raised until I was 9. My family was conservative. When I was 9, we became Orthodox.
Sara's being a little modest. Sara made her whole family, her parents, her cousins, her aunts and uncles from.
Thank you.
True story. Yeah.
That's why he's the lawyer. He's like, to be politically correct. Yeah. Can you? Should I ask him how that happened?
No,
or will you tell us all the details?
Before my time.
Basically, we had a neighbor who took in a foster child, and I became friends with her. She was inviting me over for Shabbos meals, and she, I was just like, you know what, this is the right thing. And I told my parents one day, like, I'm not going in the car this Shabbos, and like, this is what I want to do. And they followed. They listened. They did it with me. And it was pretty incredible. I went from public school to Beis Yaakov within a couple of years. Like, I went to Yeshiva Flatbush in the middle for a couple of years, and then I went to Beis Yaakov from 7th grade through 12th. And like, just life changed, and it was pretty interesting.
That's incredible. I never knew that about you.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that shown on social media. Have you ever spoken about that?
So when there was that whole my unorthodox life thing going on, I like did a whole thing on it. But I share it like from time to time, but it's not something that comes up often.
Oh, Sarah, even cooler than we expected.
Did you ever watch Shrek?
Of course.
Ogres are like onions.
Yep. The layers. She's got them.
She's got them.
He's not comparing you to an ogre, but he's just letting you know you've got layers.
I think there's a lot of depth in Shrek. That's all. I think, you know what I mean? When I think of inspiration, we're going straight to Shrek.
Well, wasn't it written by someone Jewish? Isn't the script writer?
I would not be surprised. I don't know, but
until proven otherwise. But that's pretty extraordinary. Most 9-year-olds are not busy doing things like that, and
it's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
that's beautiful.
Be where it had to be and everything. And it actually was interesting because the person who took in this foster child, she did it like she couldn't have children of her own. And this was like one of the things a Rav told her to do was take in a foster child. Foster child left right, like as I was becoming frum, and she found out she was pregnant right after. It was like incredible, like just like everything, like it was wild.
Whoa.
It's like it's just everything happens when it's supposed to. It's just
it's so much more exciting and cool when you get to see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really,
fascinating. Beautiful. So you were in Yeshiva Flatbush, and then how come you went from Flatbush to Beis Yaakov?
It wasn't like my family went like all the way. Like,
wow.
You know, my father wears a black hat. Like it just like that was like a stopgap, I guess, on the way. And that's really like I didn't even know Hebrew. Like I didn't know I was going into 5th grade, but like Hebrew I was in 4th grade because I didn't know the language. So I had to start off, and then they moved me up by like Purim time, but like it was a whole new world. So it was good. It was like a good stopgap. And then like I was able to move on.
It's amazing.
And be where I needed to be.
I think at 9, I was looking for ads for extras for movies. Like that's what I was busy with. But I think it highlights a lot about you that people don't even know. Like there's just so much to this beautiful person, and it starts then. So I'm glad you shared it. So what happened after high school?
So that kind of like shaped my dating journey a bit, because there's like a stigma when it comes to Bali Tshuva and dating. So my mother was like very on with the dating. Like she was on the phone constantly. She wasn't leaving anything to chance. It was like she was on the phone like every night. This was like a job for her. Like she would come home from work and she was calling shadchanim and like checking out resumes and what, like it was a whole thing. And I went out with a lot of guys. Did like 23 guys in a year and a half. But like in that time, I had like a bunch of things. Like I had 2 bad Darya Sharims with guys that I was like gonna marry.
Wow.
And I had a broken engagement. And like I was getting these guys that just, it wasn't like, because of the whole Baal Tshuva thing, like they weren't setting me up with necessarily like all the right guys, because like it was considered something wrong. So like I was getting a bunch of people that like also had something maybe that would be considered not perfect. And so it was very hard.
That's so upsetting, because it should actually be on the contrary, that because this person was such a truth seeker and decided to on their own become religious, people should be fighting and vying.
Yeah, I know.
It upsets me that there is some sort of stigma or like, I don't know, intention that, oh, this person's a little different, so they're going to get someone a little bit different. It's almost like other people are making the decision before you even get to choose.
100%. And it affects everything. And so I had 2 bad Sharms and a broken engagement. And then I married my ex-husband, because I think I kind of felt like at that point, I was like, every time I'm getting close to getting married, like something's happening, something bad's happening. And like his mother was a shadchan that I had gone to, and she just kept telling me like, oh, my son's so good for you. And I felt like safe kind of. So I was like, okay, you know what? This feels safe and whatever. And then I married him, and we had 3 kids. And
still do.
Yes. Well, together we had 3 kids. And about 8.5 years into the marriage. Like it wasn't working for a while, but like I stuck through, and then finally I was like, I can't anymore. It's not healthy for my kids. It's not healthy for me. It's just not a good situation. And I walked away. And yeah, it was the best thing I ever did, honestly. It all led me to him.
The Schlommo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
It's like you already went through so much before you even went through probably one of the biggest challenges ever of being in a marriage that wasn't the right fit for you. And I just want to give voice to all the pain that you sort of said in passing, like, oh, and then I had 2 bad Daria charms. Like, wait, these were 2 people that you thought you were going to marry. And then you have to go back into the dating world. And there's people who have had that sort of experience. And I want them to feel seen too. Like,
yeah. Also, that's
so
like a taboo
hard.
thing. Also, that's like a very, like, nobody talked about it. It was something, it was like, you can't have a discussion about this. And like, it's like private and like, and it's hard. It's a hard thing to go through. But like, yeah, nobody talks about it. And I think it happens a lot more than
wow.
we know.
And for what it's worth, we did Daria Sharm, and they don't necessarily test for everything.
That's
We're
true.
doing IVF we have a 2-year-old and this baby. So just, it's funny because I feel like people think of Daria Sharm as a deal killer, and it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Right.
Like, there are options.
Yeah. It's important for
100%.
people to know.
There weren't options back then, though.
Okay.
No, that was like, I spoke to, like, it wasn't, like, IVF wasn't really an option 20 years ago. Like, now it is, and it's incredible, and it really is a game changer. And I definitely like to tell people about it because I think that it's important to know that, like, it doesn't have to kill a relationship.
Right. Knowledge gives choices.
Yeah.
And sometimes we think we don't have choice when we don't have the right information that directs us towards it.
So now it's like a whole different ballgame. I know you've done like another.
So we had an episode with someone who they were genetically not compatible.
Right. So we're the same. It's the same
thing.
Yeah.
Genetically not compatible.
There's a reason why Daria Sharm doesn't test for everything. It's not that serious. You know, it's not a terminal disease. So I wouldn't say that genetically we're not compatible, but we chose to do it.
No, but it's the same.
Yeah.
I actually became friendly with her from your podcast, from watching your podcast.
Cool.
Because I was like, oh, that's like us. You know? And so look,
it's
amazing.
Empowering. It's so important.
Yeah.
It's such important information. There's J Screen also, and they tell you what you have so that you have the information and your options.
Yeah.
And it's good for people to know.
Yeah. No,
we just went to the doctor. They also do that.
Yeah. Well, they do more extensive stuff than all other things.
Right.
It's fully covered by insurance.
Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah, it's good to know. Thank you for being open about it. So during this time in your life, you have 3 children. How old are you?
I was 28.
28 with 3 children, navigating divorce.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was very difficult, but luckily I had a really good support system that was there to help me when I needed. Like, I literally didn't have to worry really about like the electric being turned off, which I know some people have to really worry about that. I had my family really was there, and they helped me, and like they made sure that my kids didn't have to leave the house we were living in and things like that. So that really made it easier, but it was also hard. Like, have 3 little kids, you're parenting on your own. I was really doing it on in the sense we weren't co-parenting really. So I was really doing that on my own. But it was a healthier house. So there was that. So it just took away a lot of the hardship because there wasn't all that toxicity going on.
Yeah.
So everybody was doing better. So I think that made it so much easier to just make it through the day.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And support's a game changer.
100%. Without it, I don't know if I would have been able to be strong enough to walk away.
Okay.
So
yeah,
really gotta have that.
So hard. Single moms are, it's like a demographic of people that I think are superheroes. More than an oral surgeon, a doctor, single moms, single parents, I should say. I don't want to dismiss any dads. They're also extraordinary.
They're great,
But by human nature, like it's more natural for a female to be a mom. And then when you also have to be a professional and you have to be an income provider and you have to be a parent, I just, to all the single moms listening, I think you're extraordinary.
Yeah.
And the single dads too. To the single dads too. So at this period in your life, we'll pause you here. So you all know I'm a big fan of Raquel Couture, and I'm really excited because my friend is getting married. And in addition to having bridal gowns and wedding gowns, they also have evening dresses. So Raquel Couture caters to anyone. If you're the friend, if you're the bride, if you're the sister or the parent, they are the top industry for bridal wear. They customize, tailor, and have beautiful, unique pieces that are just sitting there, ready for you to try them on. Conveniently located in Brooklyn, New York, and Lakewood, it's just like the best place to go to. And what's super cool is if you mention Stories of Hope, you get 5% off your beautiful piece. So go someplace where quality is not compromised and service is top notch so that you can look as beautiful as you deserve to feel at Raquel Couture. Check them out on Instagram to see their beautiful pieces and check them out in your local city or drive down there. It'll be worth it to find that perfect piece that you've been looking for. We'll be right back to our episode, but first, I'm super excited because as mentioned, I'm giving tzedakah every episode in the honor of everyone that's watching Stories of Hope. So please join me on this mission. Imagine I'm not just doing it myself, but every person, and there is a lot of you, all of a sudden stop what they're doing, download the Kol Chabad Tzedakah Pushka app and give tzedakah together. Imagine how much blessing we'd bring into the world and how many orphans' weddings we'd be able to help. So my pushka is almost full, and it's so cool because when it is, automatically all the funds will get transferred to Kol Chabad. Kol Chabad will then take it and use it towards a really important cause. So right now, together, the donation has been made, got a cool little vibrate from my phone, and my pushka is almost filled up, and that's because of all of you. So sending you love and would love to welcome you on joining me in this mitzvah. Schlommo, take it away. What's your background like? And bring us up to right before you started dating.
I don't have as many exciting and interesting nuggets as Sara. I'm the seventh of 8 kids. Grew up in Flatbush, kind of regular, great childhood, right until I started dating. We met probably when I was back from yeshiva and I was thinking about going to law school. So, that was...
No foster kid across the street converted, inspired you to be more religious.
Exciting. Yeah.
I love that. It's like I feel like your story in a sense has a lot of like opposites attract to the 10th power.
Oh, definitely.
In a lot of regards. So can you share for our audience what makes you as a match stand out than someone else before we start your story on how the two of you met?
Me or Sara?
Well, the two of you and whoever wants to start first.
So when I met Sara, she had all this stuff happening and her life, like we were saying, just so many layers. But she always had like an amazing perspective and she's super positive and Hashem always takes care of me. Like regular people don't do that. So I would say that's what makes Sara special for sure.
But like our relationship, so us in general, like what makes our relationships
more I would say so, from a typical, that is beautiful. That was very sweet. That was very beautiful. And that was actually like a great answer to my question. Let me be more specific. Like the two of you as a couple you're not the classic couple.
No.
So before we start your story, can you share what makes you as a couple different?
So Shlomo's 6 years younger than me. He was never married before. I was, older and divorced, and basically, he was going off to Harvard Law School. I was like, like he had everything going for him. And, I was just a single mom with 3 kids that and I think the fact that, we ended up together and like, I don't know, we are best friends, which I think is like a big thing that I don't think you see all the time in relationships. I think, that's what sets us apart. We've also been through a lot of stuff.
Well, that's true. I don't know. Yeah, if I had to say what sets us apart as a couple.
I'm saying you took on my kids as yours, like that.
Yeah, we're just living our life, trying to be happy,
Yeah.
But trying to do the right thing.
And I think that when people see the two of you as a couple, hear this episode, it almost opens up again more channels of choice of options, because sometimes we think this is the way things are supposed to look, and this is the only way I can do things. And when you meet people who do things differently, you realize that there's no one way. There's your heart, and there's the world, and there's God. And if we're open to all the different options that are out there, we never know where it can lead us.
100%.
And I'm so curious to hear how the two of you met.
So we met actually at a party. We were both there with like our own mutual friends. And that was where we met for the first time. And just had a really interesting conversation and kept it going over months and months. And
we just we hit it off right away. Like that instant click. But neither one of us was looking to date. We didn't go into this, we weren't looking for a relationship. We just happened to talk and just connected.
Really connected. Yeah.
And did you know that Sara had children, that she was previously married?
Yeah, of course.
And you were just developing a relationship as friends, or you were curious about each other?
Definitely as friends first.
Started off as friends.
But yeah, Sara did.
We liked talking to each other and hanging out with each other. We enjoyed each other's company. And it definitely. But he was also leaving to law school.
That's right.
For 3 years.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a wrench in it a little bit, because it was okay, we're what's going to happen?
Right. So when did things change from friends to let's date?
That was me. I think I went to law school, so I'm 4 hours away. And, I met this great person, and, she's 4 hours away, and I'm like, oh, I just want to be talking to her all the time. So I was like, we should be dating. What are we doing? So that's how it went.
Yes, we did long distance for
on the
years.
phone?
No,
or driving
visiting, going back and forth.
After
every other weekend.
My second and third years, I was able to kind of pick my own classes. So I was going back and forth a bunch.
But that first year, every other weekend I was going.
Sara was
to
coming to visit. Yeah, my roommates, we had a whole situation. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And as you were dating Sara, who had children, how did that play a role in the dating process?
So, I mean, it's funny because people always ask this question as if these 3 people are not people. But if you met our kids, you wouldn't be asking that question like it was a negative. You know what I mean? They're 3 amazing kids. I had this awesome person, 3 more awesome people. It really wasn't complicated. And I don't want to make it sound like life is just smooth sailing. Life is complicated and messy and all that stuff. And we're still figuring it all out every day. But that question was the one that I think that other people had it in their head a lot more than I had it in mine, for sure.
You're right. Even as I'm asking it, I'm like, you're right. How come it seems as if it's something I need to separate and ask? Well, did it bother you? And I guess it's only natural that people assume when they're meeting someone that maybe they only want their children that they had together, even though I don't want it to sound like they're not your children, they are your children. But someone might think, well, they're your children, sort of have that barrier up and not understand that it could become there are children.
But there are also plenty of people that have that.
And that's great. People make that
makes
work.
Him so special.
Oh,
no, it's true.
No, for years I wasn't trying to be a dad. It's you gotta understand. We were just having fun with the kids. I wasn't trying to come in and boss them around. That's not that, you know what I mean? So, we try to be thoughtful about it. Sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, it's just, you took them in as your own children. Like, you love them like your own kids, and, don't treat them differently than your own. And,
Right.
and not everybody does that. And people do look at it. And I think that, it is something special, but I think more people should be open to it also, because I think that it's a nice life.
Oh, it's, and like, I would love if you could continue to expand on what you just said on your perspective, because I think that it does invite a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at considering to go out with someone who has children if someone doesn't have children.
Sure. So kind of like what I was saying before, like, I don't know. Sarah was always talking about her kids. She's like the proudest mom. Like, I didn't meet them for a while, but I like knew them. You know what I mean? I knew their personalities. Like in my particular situation, it wasn't a particularly complicated thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to minimize it out there, because so many of kind of, single parent households or all sorts of blended families, people go through a lot to try to make it work. And there's so many different paths. But for us, it was not easy, but it was it all happened very organically.
And did you experience any like resistance from friends or families who said, what, Schlommo, you're dating someone older than you who has children? You're so young, you could go out with anyone.
This question is
again, sorry to interrupt myself and you, not to God forbid put you down that like these are things that are chesronos or against you.
No.
But I'm using the mind that the world 100%. Speaks from because they don't understand.
100%.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's very clear.
This is the only question I think I prepared for. And everyone was supportive or trying to do what they thought was right. So, I'm not saying everyone was always on the same page,
mm-hmm.
but everyone got on the same page. Yeah. So, some of that was challenging. But Sara and I think both, we kind of generally do what we think is right.
Yeah.
I've been told I'm stubborn. I would have went with strong-minded. Is that better? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. So I wasn't really too worried about like what other people thought about my relationship. But yeah, that's another real factor for a lot of people for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what about for you, Sara? Did people say things to you?
I had a couple of people like said like, oh, it's just infatuation. It's not going to last, things like that. But like, they didn't really know our relationship and like, who we are. So like, I didn't really listen to these people. Like, also like at the end of the day, like he was definitely getting it more than I was.
Yeah.
Like for me, like people were like, okay, that's cool. Like, it was definitely a good situation for me. So there was like a little bit, but not so much. Like people weren't.
And have you met other people that have a similar like background as the two of you in reference to where they were before and now?
So we know a few people that like married like younger guys who were never married. And
it's unusual. So, but yeah, we know some people.
Like, and they all seem like, it's a good situation. Like,
you
have to be open to it. But like, if you are, like, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's, there's no reason it doesn't have to be a good situation.
Yeah. If you've ever wanted something more than anything in the world, then you've probably tried a segula or two. And if you're anything like me, then you've been dejected and disappointed when it seems like it didn't work. And that's why I love this organization called Better Than a Segula. Like their name, we learn on Simchas Torah, Ein Segula Ketorah. There is no better segula than Torah study. What this organization does is they have a group of Torah scholars that will learn something on your behalf in the zuchas of what you want. And even better, The entire process is personalized. They can study a certain daf in the Gemara for 40 days, whatever you want, whatever speaks to your heart, whatever you connect to, you can let them know. So if this is something that you would find supportive, inspiring, and encouraging, you can contact them by either clicking the show notes below or take out your phone and call them at 732-364-7029. That's betterthanasegula.org, Better Than a Segula, an organization that's there to support you in the way that they know how to and in the way that they can. You have to check out Pizza Bizza, making fresh hot pizzas on the spot by their professional chefs, indoor or outdoor in their pizza ovens, meat or dairy, plus full catering around the tri-state area and Florida. Specializing in events with several hundred people with no lines. You heard right. Full menu. You have to check them out on Instagram at Pizza Bizza and visit them at pizzabizza.com. Pizza's my favorite food, so please invite me, Pizza Bizza, on Instagram and check them out at pizzabizza.com. These are the people you want to call. Pizza Bizza, I'll see you at my next event. And so here's my question, and Schlommo, you could, give your input. I'm kind of curious. I find that matchmakers will be more likely to approach a woman and say, would you go out with someone who has children, a man who has children, who was previously married? And I'm wondering if they'll approach the men and say, with the same expectation of flexibility and curiosity, hey, would you go out with a woman who has children, who was previously married? And if they're not, then something isn't being done right, because if we're trying to encourage open-mindedness, then why would it be one-sided? Because that's creating, I think, like stigma and this other mode of thinking that things should only be one way and only one party should try to be more creative. What do you think?
Yeah, so not an expert on like the shadchan Jewish matchmaker.
I heard you were an expert.
Well,
Just teasing.
sorry to disappoint. Not an expert.
He never dated anybody
on the
before me.
scene.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree. I think it's, if your job is to make matches, I think people should try to get matches done. I don't know why they would leave a whole segment of the population kind of off their roster. So.
Yeah. And like, it just, again, opens up more options, to be curious. That's the word I like to use. And people say, like, oh, are you open-minded? I don't know why. I feel like open-minded has a sense of like negative connotation, because then if you say no, you feel like you're saying something bad. Like, I guess I'm closed-minded. I almost like the word curious. Like, oh, would you be curious to hear an idea that might be different than what you're used to? Like, because that makes, even from a sales technique, it's like, now I am curious. Like, what do you have in mind? So I wonder if that's an idea we could just share more globally. Like, instead of titling people as, well, they're closed-minded, well, they're open-minded, like, well, are you curious? And some people aren't. They don't want to, that sounds scary to them. Like, nope, not curious. I want predictable and something that to me seems more simple. And I just remember when I heard about your story thinking like, oh, I just want to meet them, because I feel like when the quote unquote rules don't matter, it just brings more honest and authentic people. And that's what we need more of.
I think a big thing is being willing to meet somebody that meaning I had a conversation with somebody who was like, if I see the picture on a resume, but I feel like if you go out and you're meeting people, like their personalities will stand out to you, or things like you never know who you're gonna be attracted to. And nobody would have ever set us up with each other ever. If we hadn't met in person, we would not be sitting here today, because it just never would have happened. And I think there's something about meeting people and that type of thing also that I think people are scared of it sometimes, because maybe on paper it's not perfect or whatever, but you meet the person and maybe they have the best personality and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really attracted to this person. And it's not always about looks or exactly everything on paper. I think there's so much more to it and to attraction in general like that meeting somebody, it really like makes a difference and it can make or break. So like even with people with kids or whatever it is, like I think possibly giving somebody a chance and seeing what the person is like and not necessarily getting scared off by like this little person that's, you know, coming with them is like, you know, like just that whole like seeing what's out there face to face as opposed to just everything on paper.
And ironically, you're also giving yourself a chance. It's not just, I'll give her a chance. Like, well, you're also giving yourself a chance to see if this is going to be the love of your life.
Right.
And
I think people miss out on that because like they're scared to, you know, go off paper.
Yeah. As you mentioned before, Schlommo, it's like all perspective. Like her children are people. Let me see if I like being around these people. Let me see if I want to get to know these people. Like, I'm actually really curious to hear, do you feel like you were raised, do you feel like the way you related to Sara was a result of the way you were raised at all?
Maybe. I don't know. I guess every kind of experience you have in life affects, you know, your personality and the way you think about things. But yeah, I mean, I grew up in a house. I was the 7th of 8 kids. There were people running around. It was a lively home. Yeah, I would say so. I think my parents are very like good people that really try to do the right thing. If you can't look yourself in the mirror, like some of the like before we got married, some of the things people were saying, I was just like, you should just look in the mirror. You know, like how are you going to say that? Like, you know, like you feel comfortable. You know, I would say so. Definitely my upbringing for sure had a part of it.
Yeah. And how long were you single before you met Schlommo?
It was very short, like really a few months. Like we met almost instantaneously.
Wow.
Which was like, I'm just like everything lined up.
And how old were the two of you when you got married?
Yeah, well, we weren't dating for probably, I don't know. Sarah's better with this sort of thing, but for probably till I went to law school.
Right.
So, but
it was a long time.
We got married my spring break.
It was 30
of my 3L year. So I was 26 and Sarah 6 years old.
32. Yeah.
And what did that chuppah look like?
Our kids walked down the aisle. It was like so sweet. And it was so nice. We had a really small wedding and we loved it. Like we wanted it to just be like everybody that was just so excited for us. And it really was.
We got as many
there was
of our
so much
friends
love
involved as possible.
That was
one of my closest friends was singing under the chuppah. One of my good friends was DJing. Like we got so many different like of our friends involved, and it's like it was that was
really nice. It was really special.
The kids walked down the aisle. They were under
stood
the
up there with
chuppah.
us. Like it was so nice. It was like really like, and I know like a lot of people don't like to have their kids there or things like that. It was like for them it was like a moment too. Like they felt like they wanted to be there and they were like excited about it. Like this to them was like a new beginning, and like, you know, it was so special. It was really nice.
And that was my next question. How did your kids welcome in your husband?
They love him. He's like their favorite person. I think they like him better than they like me.
I don't know about all that, but
it's the truth.
So you got to keep in mind, again, we didn't have like the standard, like kind of from like 3-month engagement.
Yeah.
So
they had time to get to know you.
Yeah.
We were engaged for over a year.
Yeah. You know, like our
we
whole
were literally doing
situation
everything
was
long distance.
Prolonged.
Yeah.
In a very kind of unique way, I think, for like the frum world. So by the time like we got married, like the kids,
like they knew him for years
pumped.
already.
We were good friends. We were like very strategic. Like I played a lot of games with the kids. We had a lot of good times. It was good.
Yeah, like even like the first time he met them, like he brought over pizza before Pesach. Like it was like one of those, you know, like
that's
you want that pie of pizza.
Points.
Yeah,
that's big.
Exactly. So like, you know, it was like things like that. Like we're also like, you have to think like what are the kids gonna like, and like how do you do it in a way that like gets them excited and like things like that. And I think that, you know, we did that well. Yeah. We did fun things with them, and like, you know, they
I mean, it didn't hurt that they're like awesome kids.
How old were they at the time?
We got married, they were,
I give up. Sarah's good at all this stuff. We got married 7 years ago. So Debbie, it was before her bat mitzvah, right?
Yeah.
Debbie
She
was 11.
like 11, 9, and 7, I want to say. Something like that. Yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, they were pretty little, but they knew him for so many years already at that point. So it was like,
you know, on this show, we talk a lot about choosing paths that work for you. Not what's expected, not what looks good on paper, but what actually makes the most sense for you and your life. And that's especially true when it comes to college and career. So if you're at that crossroad, or maybe you're pivoting into something new, and you've ever considered going into computer programming, software development, IT, or even cybersecurity, then I want you to really listen up. I recently found out about Woodmont College, and they offer a bachelor's in computer programming that's tailored for our community. A real, relevant, respected degree in a frum online college. It's not just some degree mill. You're learning real skills that are actually used on the job, starting from day one. We're talking practical, high-level skills that will get you a career that can support a frum lifestyle. Yes, 6 figures in a realistic field. And what I love about the program is that it's flexible. You could start anytime, even this week, and you can transfer a max amount of credits so you're not wasting time or money. And speaking of money, it's way more affordable than you'd think for this kind of degree. Plus, scholarships are available, which makes it even more accessible. So if you're someone that's looking into a career that's high demand, flexible, and actually pays well, then check out Woodmont College's BS in computer programming. You'll find the link in the show notes below. This could be your next move, and it might just be the smartest one yet. So find out more details in the show notes below to start this new, amazing adventure for you. We'll be right back to our episode. But if you love to travel, or you've always wanted to travel, then crank up the volume. I am seriously about to change your life. I just found out about this company called lalechet.org, whose mantra is the following: give us your wish list and we'll give you the world. This is a white glove service agency that takes care of everything when it comes to traveling from top to bottom. They're available 24/6. They'll take care of your airfare. They'll take care of your insurance. They'll take care of your itinerary. And get this, it won't just be done. It'll be perfect. And they offer 2 options. You can organize your own trip, whether you want an all-women's trip that you've always dreamed of, but just didn't know how to do, a family trip, a work trip. They can even charter a plane if you want something a little extra fancy and that just works for you. Or you can join one of their already curated trips. They have amazing trips that explore Jewish history with fancy meals. I mean, I don't know where this has been, but I know that this is a company I'll be using. So if you finally want the keys to the dreams that you've always had, but now you can finally make them reality, then check out lalechet.com to create that life that you no longer need to dream of, but can finally do. lalechet.com. They'll take care of all of it for you. Did you feel any pressure while you were going through your personalized way of dating? Did you feel pressure from other people of like, well, maybe you should, or from each other? Like maybe we should get married already, or you should get married, or this or that? Because I find that sometimes there's this like unspoken universal rule of how long people should date. And oftentimes it could compromise relationships. It could misguide people into relationships they shouldn't be in, because there's this pressure of you need more or you should know by now. And it's not a one size shoe fits all. This is their significant other, someone you hope they're with for the rest of their life. And that pressure piece always upsets me. And we talk about it a lot here on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I think in general, couples like having mismatched expectations is, you know, a recipe for a disaster, you know, if there isn't like really good communication and everyone's being really thoughtful. But I mean, for us, like we had kind of structural things in place. Sarah was in Brooklyn. Her kids were in school there. I was living in Massachusetts. So we got married the spring break right before I graduated.
Right.
So
I think we knew, like,
practically, this is what made sense.
right. Like, if anything, I would say, like, the getting engaged was more of like, you know,
yeah, I would say so.
Was where there was maybe a little more pressure because it was like we know we're getting married, so, like, you know, type of thing. So I feel like that maybe was a little more pressured.
And there was also lots of input from other people.
Right. Some people were like, don't get engaged yet, even though, like, we knew we were getting married, and then other people were like, you should get engaged.
Don't we love other people's input?
Oh, of course.
We sure do.
It's definitely,
and we love them all for caring.
Yes.
And they're the best.
Yes. Everybody did it with, you know, what they felt was a good heart. But yeah, no, but we knew, like, at the end we were planning on getting married. So, like, we actually ended up, like, moving up our wedding to before he graduated. But like, so we did like 3 months or 2 months married apart, which was hard.
Wow.
But
yeah,
what would that look like?
That was literally me pulling kids out of school on Fridays, being like, we're going to Boston every week. Because,
like, shout out to my roommates and my law school friends.
Yeah, they were awesome. They were like so good with the kids, and they were they just always were like really so nice people. And like very supportive.
Yeah, just recently I was at one of my friends from law school's wedding, and like beforehand we pulled up a picture of him trying to help Shandy with her math homework.
Oh,
and this man was, you know, he graduated with honors, you know, from USC, and he was there in law school. And I'm pretty sure he couldn't figure out the long division. And just, they were all really,
they were supportive.
So many awesome people.
Throughout
our journey, for sure.
A lot of good people that really took the kids and loved the kids, like, you know, when they didn't have to.
Yeah. And after you got divorced, did you ever dream that you'd end up with someone like Schlommo?
So I really didn't. The funny thing is, like, I always knew I could be married to my best friend. So, like, that was like something like that I always felt was like missing. And so, like, finding it was like, this is amazing. Like, I knew that this was like something I could and should have, but like, it wasn't there. So I actually had gone to a therapist that told me, don't be surprised if you never find anybody. Like, before I got divorced, even, like, I was like asking her, and she's like, don't get divorced thinking you're going to find somebody else. I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I'm okay being on my own if that's what it takes. But like, it was just such an interesting thing to say. And
how
like,
come she said that? Yeah.
She's like, I have all these like girls that come and they get divorced, and like, they end up alone, and they just don't find that person. And so she wanted me, I guess, going in like, being like, okay, like, don't think like the grass is always greener. You know, you're going to get divorced and you're going to find somebody else and whatever. And I was like, okay, like, you know, I'd rather be alone. And I think that was a good thing to say, because it definitely, you know, put in my head that like, I might not actually ever find somebody. But like, Hashem obviously had different plans. And like, I met him so quickly after. It was like, you know, it was just met.
You're saying when we met, you thought we were going to get married? No.
When we met?
No way.
No. Like, I'm saying not right away. I just liked you. And like, I like we were very good friends. We, you know,
Sarah,
we clicked.
Did you have a crush on him a little bit?
I think he had a crush on me first.
Probably did.
Guys, I think it's safe to say both of you had crushes, because let's be real, you were very good friends. You just probably felt too weird to think about it any other way.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's part of what you needed. I mean, if you said to Hashem, like, I want a best friend, you had to have that first.
For sure. And I think that it really like made us have such a solid relationship that like it was based on a really good friendship. So like, I think that's like something very important also. It's like that, like, you want somebody that you like. We would rather hang out with each other than anybody else still till this day. Sorry, everybody else. But it's the truth. It like really like,
that's
when it comes down to it, like, we would really like at the end of the day, we would rather hang out with each other.
Yeah.
And
it's I think it's a gift. I think that it depends on what you're going in. It depends on your intentions before getting into a relationship. What do I expect from it? Do I want a best friend? Do I want a coworker? Do I want a spouse? Do I want a rabbi? Do I want a teacher? Like, what do I want? And that really will direct you towards the person you end up with. So it's a really good idea to bring up, like, best friend. I mean, I think it's a beautiful way to have a marriage. This person's my best friend and this person has my back and they're the one I want to be around.
Yeah. Well, also at the end of the day, your kids get married, they move out. Like, that's who you're going to have for the rest of your life. Like, that's who you're with.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you want to pick somebody that, you enjoy spending time with. I think it's really important.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And what's ironic is, again, like, had you ever, if Sarah had been suggested to you just on a whim, someone said,
I wasn't even dating. I was like, I'll deal with that when I get to it. So forget about Sarah, anybody. That would have been like a non-starter.
Yeah.
So it really worked out very well.
It's so cool how God just has a plan. He knows the setting. He knows the way things need to happen. And
the timing is exact. Like, it's amazing how, like, it's just everything happens when it's supposed to.
And I want that to give hope to people who feel like they have no idea. I'm speaking to myself. You have no idea when things will change, how they will change. You feel like you know everyone that's out there, whether you're a single parent or in a different position. And it could be hard to stay hopeful when you feel like you can't see how things will change. I love always highlighting that God's so creative. He doesn't need any other way or any other partner to help him figure out, well, how can we make this work? He knows how it needs to be done. And there's perfection in his art. And it's obviously so clear in your story. It's like, I've never heard a story like it before. It's so unusual, but it's also, as you share it, it also sounds like, oh, this should be just so, it should be just so normal. It just seems to make so much sense. And like, what would be a message that you would want to give over from your experience, whether it's to the moms, whether it's to community, whether it's just general, what's a message that you would want to give over?
I'll go first.
No, this is really Sarah's show. This is what I was saying. Sarah, I think, is the inspiration here. I'm just along for the ride.
I think really, like, trust in Hashem. Like, that's literally how I live my life, where it's like, I really believe that, like, everything, any bad that's happened, anything good that's happened, it's all been to get me where I needed to be in life. Like, every single thing. Like, I look back, even like the bad Darish arms or the broken engagement, I'm like, it had to happen because, like,
we like to joke because I was preparing for my bar mitzvah then. So
yeah. No, but it's true. Like, I'm saying, like, but also, like, if I wouldn't have married who I married, I wouldn't have gotten divorced, and then I wouldn't have ended up with him. Like, it just, the timing, like, just nothing would have worked out. Like, if I would have married those other people, maybe I would have still been married to those people. So, like, everything, like, Hashem had to just stop me. Like, I thought I knew best and, like, whatever, but, like, at the end of the day, Hashem knows what's best. And, like, literally, that's how I live my life. And I think that it's just helpful even through the bad things, because, if you just have that hope that there's, like, a reason it's happening, and, like, that, Hashem always has your back and is looking out for, like, whatever it has to be to get you to where you need to be. Like, it just takes some of that, like, hardship off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, takes the pressure off also. It's like, it's not on me. Like, I can just be the best person I can be and do the best I can do. And, like, everything's going to happen the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, it gives you the permission to live without worry. Did you ever struggle with that confidence that Hashem was taking care of you throughout your challenges?
So I'm sure, like, there were, like, as it was, like, happening right away, like, that first initial thing is, like, why is this happening? Or, like, that type of feeling. But, like, I've always tried to quickly, like, turn my mindset around to, like, okay, this is, like, what has to happen, like even like with IVF stuff or like just all the different things, because there's been a lot. And like everything, it's like, okay, like I'm like, there's a reason for it. And like, you know, then I just try to change my attitude, because I can sit there and get into a depression over like, why did this have to happen to me? But like, I know like there's a reason for it. And, you know, so it usually lasts pretty short.
Sara really lives it. And this is something that we talked about years ago. We talk about all the time. Like, to me, the concept of like, this is for the best is some ambiguous, whatever for the best is. Sara really lives, not just it's for the best, but it's for my best. Like Hashem's taking care of me, which I always thought was just awesome. Yeah. So can confirm. She's like this all the time.
I like your choice of words. It's not just this is for the best. This is for my best.
Yeah. Sara says it all the time. Hashem's taking care of me. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
It's true.
I feel like you were born that way. Again, like choosing to take your whole family on a different level of Yiddishkeit at 9. You just, you were just born with some extra special touch. And for some reason, Hashem felt that these were the things you had to experience in order for you to become the person you are. And I think people see from your page as someone that brings a lot of laughter through challenging conversations and joy. And I really appreciate you bringing it here today on the podcast. So thank you.
Thank you.
Is there something else that you would want to share?
Like a takeaway, like a final takeaway?
Yeah.
Sure. I saw this on another podcast, like on a clip. I don't know which one, but to getting to Sara's point, because I really liked it. Again, I'm just copying someone else's thing, but related to Sara's point, it was like when you see something like terrible that happens, like after something terrible happens, like the survivor's always like, I would have done it. And someone was like, why don't you just assume that's what happened? Like maybe that person, that terrible thing that happened, they traded it. That was their choice. And that is really for the best. So there's that. But if we're closing up, like we talked about this on the way in. We play podcast at home. So you've been hosting, you're doing a great job, you're crushing it, you're making us sound way smarter than we are.
Oh, you guys are so cool. You don't need help sounding smart.
Okay. But all right, let's do it. So today's podcast, so this is how we play at home. You got to sit on the couch. If you're not sitting on the couch, it doesn't count.
By the way, we need to get a couch in here. Okay.
Well, at home, we don't really have a great studio. We don't have mics.
Yeah,
we sit on the couch. And then I'll pose the question to you. So I gave you some time to think about it because I mentioned this earlier. Go to off like seasonal ice cream flavor.
Okay. My go-to seasonal off ice
like off the regular menu. It's got to be like limited edition.
Ooh.
Like what would be your like the best one?
Ooh, good question. Limited edition, favorite ice cream flavor. Go. Okay, I gotta say, I once had this like cheesecake strawberry banana thing. Party.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Party in my stomach.
From where?
Who?
It's okay.
Okay. I feel
if they're not a sponsor, we could just,
I'll tell you, they're not a sponsor, but also like questionably kosher. Like I thought it was kosher, and then I was telling people I was going, and they're like, "That's not so kosher."
That yogurt place.
Yeah, one of those frozen yogurt places. Okay. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
Is it good enough to be on the regular menu?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
they just dropped the ball.
Yeah, I think traditional works well, but I think that we need to spice things up because like a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, it can get boring.
Yeah.
So throw in banana, strawberry, cheesecake flavor, frozen yogurt.
Nice.
And
That's
then
good.
like I love commission. I'll take it in the form of frozen yogurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. This is good.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you for letting me come on your podcast.
Yeah. Oh wait, if you want to call me, then I'll be able to answer my phone and say, "Can't talk now. I'm doing the pod," which is a dream of mine.
You know what? We'll make it happen next time.
Okay.
Thank you for coming, the two of you. This has been loads of fun and very inspiring.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for watching another special episode of Stories of Hope filmed on Sunday. Yes, I'm reminding you that because here at Stories of Hope, we really do try to go above and beyond with everything we have and everything I honestly don't think I often have to provide you with the stories that we think you need to hear. If this story touched you in any way, then please reach out to Sara and Shlomo or let them know in the comment section below. Everything we do here at Stories of Hope is all about changing the narrative, providing inspiration and change, and of course, giving you hope. If you thought that there was no way you can get through your salvation, get through a place where you just feel like you're stuck and nothing seems to make sense, then I hope this story shows you that the odds don't need to be in your favor. God always has a plan, and it doesn't need to be one you understand, and it doesn't need to work for anyone else. But everything is always being taken care of, as Sara says, not just for the best, but for your best. So thank you for being a part of this mission. And as always, if there's someone you want to see, we really are always looking for people, and you can be a reason why someone came up here. Please let me know by sending me an email at soh@meaningfulminute.org. See you next week.